Hello and welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. It is Friday the 13th of February 2026. I'm Graham Hughes. Nice to have you with us. We have in the chat Lost Missionary. We've got Francis. Got Martin in there as well. We've got Diz. How you doing, Diz? We've got Sid. There's someone called Graham Politics, whoever the fuck that is. We've got Azina in there. Russ is in there. Alex is in there. Hello, good morning, welcome one and welcome all. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel and you can change the outcome of reality in real time, which is very exciting. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the politics of letting the world burn. Donald Trump has revoked the Environmental Protection Agency's 2009 endangerment finding. That determination said that greenhouse gases threaten health and public health and welfare. It's the legal spine of US federal climate regulation. You remove this spine and the body collapses, like with most spines. The car standards that they have, power plant rules, methane limits, aviation guidance all rely on the authority from that endangerment finding of the EPA from 2009. The administration calls this deregulation and cost cutting. The sales pitch is cheaper vehicles, cheaper energy, freedom from bureaucracy. Freedom. We'll get on to that. Opponents say it will mean more fuel burnt, more pollution, higher long-term costs, and preventable deaths. Legal observers think that the goal is permanent, so they want to force the issue upwards to the Supreme Court, secure a court ruling from the incredibly corrupt and evil Supreme Court of the United States, and make it extremely difficult for later governments to rebuild the framework. They want to burn it all down. This is not a marginal thing. This is foundational. This is foundational for the US going forward. It's one of the other reasons, one of the many reasons that I believe that America as we know it is absolutely finished. And I know some people don't like me saying that, and they say, "Oh, but that's giving up." I'm not giving up. I think we should still fight it. I think we should still point it out, but I think we need to also be realistic and not get people high on hopium that this is all going to be sorted out. You know, in a few months of a new administration coming in and signing a new set of executive orders. They are putting things in place that will wreck America and the planet for future generations, for years to come. The obvious beneficiaries of this, of what Trump has done, are the oil and gas suppliers. No surprise there. The filthy fuel companies, the filthy foreign slime emporium dwellers, the people who sell this, peddlers. They peddle toxic foreign slime that they dig out the ground, slime out the ground. Would you like to buy some slime? Would you like to eat some slime? Like Milo Binder in Catch 22 with his bloody cotton. Oh, thank you. Cheers. I've just been handed another coffee. I'm going to be all coffeed out this morning. Thank you. See you later. Wonderful assistant. And also, who else is going to succeed in this is the petrochemical, not just the companies, but the supply chains. So all of the pipeline companies and the shipping companies. Don't forget, over half of the ships on our sea at the moment, cargo ships, are transporting fossil fuels around. If we didn't need to transport fossil fuels because we just made our own fuel from not fossils, from the wind and the sun, then there wouldn't be any need for a lot of those supply chains, or at least half the ships on the ocean at any one time. Also, the high emission manufacturers will like this as well. Investors with sunk capital into hydrocarbons, and politicians who have built careers attacking regulation. They get time, they get certainty, they get political endorsements from the very top. And you think that Nigel Farage isn't going to jump on this? Of course he is. That all of their fuckers, they want to start fracking again. They want to reopen coal mines. They want to destroy this green and pleasant land. They want to turn it into a dirty, black, unpleasant land covered in soot and despair, because that is, that is the future that the refuckers want. They want to destroy everything because the two reasons. One, lead. A lot of their voters have a lot of lead in their brains, and that fucks them up. But the other thing is they're just petty, vindictive motherfuckers, and they hate the fact that young people have youth, which is something that a lot of them don't have anymore. So instead of going, oh, do you know what? Well, I had my day in the sun and I had a good time, and I'm going to pass the mantle on to the next generation and make sure they get a good go of it. They're like, no, you're not getting a house. You're not getting a job for life. I'm not even going to leave you a livable planet. And then we need to also add crypto and AI into this picture. I mean, these new technologies, right? These new fucking arsehole technologies that are beloved by arseholes everywhere around the world. Usually right wing gobshites living in their mum's basements, screaming about I don't know the new world order, when they're kind of part of that because they're part of the whole crypto fucking thing, which to mine cryptocurrencies. And don't start in the chat about the particular cryptocurrency that doesn't involve destroying the planet. Yeah, all right. That's what everyone uses, yeah? Look at the ones that exist at the moment, right? Not what hypothetical ones that might exist or might be all green and lovely. And if they are saying they're green and lovely, show me some photos. Go to their fucking go to their data center in Chile, right, and get some photos for me, because I don't fucking believe it for a second. I think it's just bullshit. I think it's just greenwashing or something. I don't know, but the massive electricity demands that are demanded by crypto mining and by AI is just off the fucking chart. And it makes old fossil capacity suddenly seem necessary, when the reality is energy consumption for most humans has gone down. Why? Because of low energy TVs, LED TVs compared with CRT TVs, take up a lot less electricity. And then you've got all the bulbs in everyone's homes of all low energy bulbs now, instead of working off 100-watt bulbs, so that you got a 9-watt bulb. So that's 10 times less electricity that motherfucking bulb is using. That worried all of the oil oligarchs and the oil fucking countries, like the OPEC countries and Saudi and the United Arab Emirates, who seem to take a disproportionate interest in both American politics and our politics. That's nice of them, isn't it? Taking an interest in our politics. They've even captured the deputy leader of Refuck. He actually lives in one of these countries in Arabia, because what's his name? Richard of Arabia. Yeah, gobshite. And they are quite clearly setting things up to just burn as much oil as possible, because they were like, oh, well, people are using less, people are moving towards solar, people are moving towards wind turbines. Panic, what should we do? Let's make up new technologies. That all they do all day is just burn oil. And what do they make money for like 0.00001% of the world's population. Okay, cool. So let's burn loads of oil. Let's burn a shitload of oil, gas, fossil fuels. Let's burn it. Let's just keep burning it till the planet gets hotter and hotter, because actually that's what they want. It's not like they're looking out the window going, oh, hoping an apocalypse doesn't come. They are calling for it. Come, apocalypse, come. That's what these billionaires are saying, as far as I'm concerned. So with this new energy demand that the infrastructure, the energy infrastructure that we have at the moment isn't quite up to, because it's extra demand on top of growing populations and everything else, whereas the household use is going down, or has gone down over the last 20-25 years. The industrial use is well, it's not even industrial, is it? What would you call crypto and AI? It's just the unnecessary use. Because don't forget, you can tell me about AI solving this medical fucking mystery that's baffled scientists for centuries. But the reality is that 99.9% of AI is used for shite. It's used for students cheating in fucking college courses. It's used for people making fucking AI videos of the daft fucking videos of their friend dancing like a twat, which they could do with a camera, with their phone, and their mate dancing like a twat. You don't need AI to do that. And also, it's used to strip the clothes off children. There you go. There's a 3 main use causes for fucking AI. That's what 99.999% of it is used for. And that's burning and burning and burning the planet. It's burning the fuel, burning the oil, burning the gas, burning the planet. And you add crypto and AI into this picture, and it's like, oh, well, we need new extraction projects. We need to have new oil wells. We need to have new coal mines. We need to have, oh, fuck off. Just fuck off. And, you know, scientists have been warning for years, since the 1970s. So, like, ever since I was born, all the time that I've existed, scientists have looked at this and said emissions, man-made emissions must fail. The science is not difficult unless you are really particularly dense, like denser than a neutron star, so dense that light bends around you. There is carbon locked in the ground from the Carboniferous period of Earth. We take that carbon out of the ground and then we burn it, and it produces carbon dioxide. And that is a greenhouse gas. We know it's a greenhouse gas because we can look at other planets like Venus and go, oh, wow, that's what happens when you have a runaway fucking carbon dioxide heat blanket around the planet. It turns into a mess of sulfuric acid, high pressure, high temperature garbage that you can never, ever hope to live on. And they named that planet after the goddess of love. Oh, the irony. You know, no probe has ever lasted very long on Venus. They could sort of land and then they melt. Anyway, so the leaders have a lot of critics, including myself, have said that considering the evidence of our own eyes and ears, the fact that it's just rained for 40 days and 40 nights here in the UK, the floods that we've had, the fires in Australia, the fires in California, and we're seeing the effects of carbon-based climate change, human endeavor, climate change all over the world, all the fucking time. A big fucking case in point is Ginger Island. That island is going underwater. We're having to build it up because it's going underwater because the tides are getting higher and higher. And if you think, oh, that's just your island, you just got a funny island. It's like the island in Lost. Maybe it moves around. Maybe the island's sinking, under the weight of me standing on it now and again. No, it's not that, because if you go to any of the other islands, or if you go to the main town, Bocas del Toro, they're having to build in flood defences that they never had before because it never used to flood. But now it does. More concrete. Concrete uses a lot of CO2 to make. So, more greenhouse gases. That's good, isn't it? Or then you've got the heat that is being caused. These massive heat waves that we're seeing across Europe and even in places in the Middle East where you're seeing temperatures going up to 45 degrees. You're seeing heat waves in India killing thousands and thousands of people. So what do people do? They invest in air conditioning. And what does air conditioning have in it? Oh, more greenhouse gases. Fantastic. Really bad, really, really bad greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases. And modern farming, you'll think, well, actually, if you're growing stuff and that, eats the carbon and makes fucking leaves and shit, surely that will reduce the carbon, but it won't, because we have beef forced down our throats, just like the cotton of Milo Minderbinder. Here, eat the fucking cotton, put it in your mouth. I don't want it. Beef is incredibly bad for the environment, but we're told that it's amazing. We're told that the most precious thing in the world is a fucking steak. I'm here to tell you, right? I've eaten a lot of food around the fucking world. And you know what? A piece of steak, and I've had some really fucking good steaks. Good steaks. Like really fucking good stuff, right? The creme de la creme. It's just a lump of fucking protein, mate. It's just a lump of protein. Do you know what's nicer? The fucking peppercorn sauce that you put on top of it. That's way nicer. Give me that on a fucking carrot. I'll be fucking happy. Everything we're doing is heading towards a fucking massive fucking planet-sized fucking disaster. And here we have Donald fucking Judas Trump They're like a mountain of mad fucking flesh, revoking this landmark ruling that greenhouse gases endanger public health. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? How can you look at a power plant with those fucking massive fucking chimneys, the sulfur that comes out of these motherfuckers, the toxic chemicals that come out of the back of a fucking internal combustion engine car? Are you telling, it's perfectly safe. It's perfectly safe, these fossil fuels. I don't know what anyone's talking about. They look at the floods, they look at the hurricanes, they look at the forest fires. It's perfectly safe. Energy demand is being steered towards extremely intensive uses, i.e., AI and crypto, which I'm just so fucking ratty about, because these things have been set up to fuck us. They've been set up. It's like, imagine there's a well and there's a million people just shuffling £5 notes into the well. And you go, why are you burning all those £5 notes? It's like, well, because we need to make pictures of. We need to give people the ability to strip the clothes off children. Well, we also need to accelerate climate change. Why would you want to accelerate that? Well, once the fossil fuel industries receive all this additional political protection, once we start thinking, half the country in America thinks that climate change is a hoax because their godhead Trump says it is. And despite the myriad of fucking videos on YouTube going, oh, Trump's popularity is fucking plummeting. It's not. It's 40%. It's been 40% forever. It's always 40%. It went up during the election because he fucking cheated to win the election. He got his mate Elon Musk to buy a load of fucking counting machines in swing states. So he made sure that certain wards, there was nobody who voted for Kamala Harris. Even though people voted for Democratic fucking senators and congressmen and women, they voted for them, but on the same ticket, they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Not one person in certain fucking areas of certain wards of America, in America, voted for Kamala. Bit fucking sus. 40%. That's what he's got. It might go down to 39%. Might go up to 41%, but it's got to be ticking around 40 for fucking ever. And they're not going to lose faith in him just because he shits himself, just because he says he's going to invade Greenland, just because he has his goons shooting dead a mother of three on the streets, a white Christian American citizen on the street. He's not going to lose them because he's their godhead. He is divine to these people. They put up posters of this horrible man, this fucking boil on the arse of humanity. They put pictures of him on their walls, like what Catholics do with pictures of Jesus. There are people in America who have a picture of Jesus with his little heart shining, right? And next to it, they have an AI-generated picture of Donald Trump with a fucking six-pack standing on the deceased bodies of Democrats and woke people. You're not going to change their fucking minds. It's not going to happen. They're not going to wake up one day and have an epiphany. The only thing that is going to stop MAGA is Donald Trump stopping. And I mean by stopping, you know what I mean, right? The big, beautiful day. That's the only thing that's going to stop him. And here we go. Like, the idea is, in all this, there's a few things they want to do, right? There's two things they want to sort of geoengineer. And if you want to know how badly geoengineering can go and Google the Aral Sea disaster. Go and have a look at what they did to the Aral Sea, the Soviets, the Russians, the fucking Muscovites. See what the Muscovites did. See what the Kremlin did to the Aral Sea, right? And get back to me. These motherfuckers think they know what they're doing and they fucking don't. They think in Russia, and this is one of the reasons why Trump's Russian handlers are pushing him in this direction. I mean, one of them is obviously because they want to sell oil and they've got loads of oil. But the other thing is they honestly believe that Siberia, which is under permafrost at the moment, will become a green and pleasant land because of the Arctic, the extent of the Arctic ice or the permafrost will decrease. But the reality is it might not end up that way. What's very likely to happen in the next few years, even before 2050, is that the AMOC, the circulating current of warm water from the Gulf of Mexico. We know it's slowing down, and if that stops, Britain is going to be fucking half permafrost half the fucking year. Like I keep trying to tell people, Britain is on the same fucking line of latitude as Siberia. It is on the same line of latitude as fucking Lake Baikal. The only thing keeping us warm is the warm water coming from the Gulf of Mexico. If that warm water doesn't come towards us, then we're fucked. Yuri, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. MAGA, the cargo cunt of personality. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there, mate. First super chat of the morning. It's very kind. So you've got Russia, who seem to think that they're going to turn the fucking, the Siberian steppe into some kind of green, rich farmland. Don't forget, one of the reasons why they want to invade Ukraine is the quality of the soil in Ukraine is very good. It's why it's the bread basket of Europe. That's why they export so much corn and wheat, because they can grow it, put a stick in the ground, it goes really fertile soil. The soil in northern latitudes, especially in places like Siberia, is shite. Because it hasn't had thousands, maybe millions of years of leaves and animal decomposing and animals dying and whatever else it takes to build up that nice, rich soil. They don't have it. It's shit soil. Like in the north of Alaska, in the north of Canada, it's shit soil. You can't fucking grow anything there. I mean, you can, but it's going to taste like shit. You're not going to get a very good fucking yield. But this is the plan. This is the plan that Russia have, because they want to push climate change. And this is why they're telling Trump, keep pushing climate change. Keep going. Keep going. Martin Harrow, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. There goes my dinner money. Fucking got your dinner money. Right, Harrow, come here. Gonna have your dinner money. Shake you upside down by your ankles. Fucking got your money. Go out and buy some Highland toffee. Sorry. Sorry for taking your £2 there, Martin. But thank you. Thank you. It's very kind of you. And then you've got the idea that, obviously the oil companies want us to burn more fucking oil because it means more fucking money for them to go and do daft, awful things. In their slave cities of Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Riyadh and places, and Doha. And then you've got, Trump and the other world leaders like Farage and Orban. Well, Farage isn't a leader yet, but he's a leader of a party. But he's got the same mentality. All these fucking fash. Bolsonaro, did you notice when Bolsonaro was in power, they started burning down the fucking rainforest at an accelerated rate? Do you remember that? Why would he do that? Why would all these fash be doing? Why would they be obsessed with destroying the planet? Well, because of refugees. They want to create refugees, They want us all living in fear, because when you're living in fear, you make bad decisions. Fear also sparks an appetite, or increases an appetite for authority, doesn't it? Authority policies often sideline environmental and labour protections, and wealth concentration becomes easier to defend in an emergency atmosphere. They need loads of money to fix the problems that they created. And then we've got the refugees. Let's talk about refugees for a moment, because climate stress multiplies displacement of humans. Migration becomes headline policies. Parties promising walls and deterrents and crackdowns and openly shooting people dead on the street for popping out their mum at the wrong coordinate of longitude and latitude. They gain oxygen. These narratives gain oxygen when there's got to be not just a few million refugees, not just a few 100 million refugees, but over 1 billion, maybe billions of refugees, because half of fucking Bangladesh is gone underwater. Where are the people going to go? Some of the biggest major cities in the world are going underwater. Jakarta, an absolutely massive city, it's going underwater. Not necessarily directly because of climate change, but it's not helping. It is not helping. And you know what? These gobshites in power are happy to let this fucking happen, because the ultra rich, they're calculating they can ride this out. They could ride it out. They're changing the fucking actual fucking thermal dynamics of the fucking planet. It's going to take thousands of years to fix this shit. And they think, I can go to a safer location. I'll buy somewhere on top of a hill. I've got my private transport, my private helicopter, private healthcare, private security. I've got diversified assets. I've got my bunker that I've built on a tropical island somewhere in the South Pacific. And, the wager becomes, survive the turbulence and keep control of the system. And you've also got the profits that exist inside a catastrophe. Think about all the construction contracts that are going to go out to build concrete defences against the sea rising. As people's houses are disappearing off cliffs, or the Thames barrier isn't up to it. Think about all the money people are going to make. Think about all the concrete that's going to have to be fucking poured. Concrete, which is really, really bad for the environment. Got to understand that. But concrete is the beef of construction. It's really bad for the environment. It balls my piss when I see some god-awful, brutalist nightmare being thrown up. Literally, thrown up, on our city fucking streets. And they're like, oh, it's a very green building. I'm like, fuck off. No, it's not. Fucking, why are you saying it's green? It's not fucking green, mate. It's not green at all. You're talking shit. It's made of concrete. I'm going to build a green building. I don't know, build out of wood or something. Andrew, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Trump started war with Canada over a bridge that they built and paid for. Yeah, he's obsessed with this bridge that spans between Canada and America. It goes over to, this is Ontario, and it goes over to Michigan. And for years and years and years, the Canadians were saying, we need a bridge, because the bridge that we have is in private hands and it's really shit and they can open and close it as they want. And this is silly. This is a bridge between two countries. Give us some money and, we'll go halves and halves on it. And they were like, no. I'm like, what? They're like, no, we're not giving you any money. I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. We'll pay for it ourselves then. And then we'll have a toll until it's paid off, all the money that we paid making the fucking thing. And then once that's paid off, we'll share the money, even though you put nothing into this and you didn't build this fucking bridge, America. And Trump's like, yeah, we'll have that. Because he's a fucking gangster. He's not a businessman. Stop anyone in their tracks who says, oh, he's a great businessman. He's not. He's gangster. All of his fucking businesses were just fronts for his drug dealing, child peddling, fucking, sex trafficking, fucking disgusting shite that he got up to. We've also got, but thank you very much for the super chat anyway. But Graham, it stands to reason the richer someone is, the wiser, and they are. Otherwise, why are billionaires always asked their opinions on global issues? Yes, Acro Dave. These very fortunate nepo babies, they know everything. Just look at Brooklyn Beckham. He knows how to take a photograph, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I'm just gonna just change this a little bit because sorry, I'm just a bit dark. See, it's just a bit dark. Don't like that. That's better, isn't it? No, that's too much. What are you even doing? Why are you even here? That's all right. That's still a bit dark, but whatever. Okay, so where was I? Lost. Yes, lost. So yeah, there's profits to be made. Reconstruction contracts when shit gets destroyed by hurricanes. Insurance companies are going to make so much fucking money because everyone's going to have to get climate insurance. Pretty much everyone in the Western world is going to have to get climate insurance. Commodities are going to become worth more. So that's why people will invest in gold and shit. You've got, what they call distressed asset purchases, which is like, a building that's half fallen down because of a storm or flood damage or forest fire or something, and they can buy it dead cheap. And then, because people can't live in it, the people who live there can't live there anymore, so you can just buy it as an asset. And then we got the privatization of failing public services, and volatility is not universally bad for capital, and we've seen this because Jacob Rees-Mogg's dad wrote a book or co-wrote a book called Blood on the Streets, how to make money out of a fucking crisis. And this isn't a case of secret meetings and monologues, villain monologues, and people going, although I'm sure they do that in private. But they're doing this out in the open, They're warned of harm and they remove the guardrails. They've offered clean alternatives and they shut them down. Trump tried to shut down a massive array of wind turbines that were half built in the Atlantic off the east coast of America, and he tried to shut the whole thing fucking down. Faced with urgency, they delay. The Tories in this country effectively banned onshore wind farms because they said that if any one person complained, that the wind farm wouldn't fucking get made. I wish we could do that with fucking flags. I wish we could do that with British fucking flags everywhere. and they're told, markets need certainty. But, the reality is this whole thing provides certainty for polluters that things are going to get worse, that the infrastructure of the world's going to face a lot of battering and need to be rebuilt. They're going to need more oil to rebuild the stuff that's been destroyed by all the oil. Becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And more people are going to vote for right-wing tyrants who dismantle regulations that are put in place to protect us. This is why Farage and his mates want to get rid of all our human rights. They don't need them. They don't need them. One, because they're not human. Secondly, because they're dead fucking rich. They can afford their own security. They can afford their own healthcare. They can afford their own private transport anywhere in the world. They can live and work anywhere in the world. They want to take that away from you. And they've been, moderately successful at doing that. Fucking scumbags. Fucking scumbags. Economic volatility is good for profit if it can be predicted, and even more profitable if it can be planned, hence disaster capitalism. Yeah, and global climate change is the ultimate in disaster capitalism. It's as simple as that, Lost wave. I think that's too bright. Is that too bright? Am I sort of blending in with the background? Do I look the same colour as the wall? Don't know. Tell me in the chat if you think that's a bit too bright. But I just felt it was a bit dingy. It looked a bit dingy here in the old studio, which definitely is in our spare room. Would the premium have to be as much as the payout though? So it'd be pointless. Yeah. Well, it depends where you are, doesn't it? But everyone will have to get it. Everyone will have to get it. And in some areas, it's going to cost more, and on some areas are going to cost a bit less. Or maybe the government's going to have to step in and say we're going to have a kind of national insurance for disasters, for the oncoming of disasters. This is someone who's built a really nice, functioning city in SimCity, and then just gets bored and decides to, conjure up Godzilla to come along and smash all the buildings up. So keeps it interesting, eh? When every fork in the road, right? The option every time that the rich and powerful have had an option of whether to have more wind farms or to, put in regulations against fossil fuels, or to have a way of making the air cleaner, the COP systems working, all that kind of stuff. The regressive right-wing ratbags always opt for the fork in the road, for the direction that leads us to absolute fucking disaster as human beings. And a hotter, harsher, more chaotic world is politically useful because it justifies force. This is what these fucking weirdos fucking fantasize about. This is their sexual fantasy. They fantasize about murdering people because they've got that much money and they expected to win a medal after getting their first million that said you win humanity, you win the race, you win the human race or something, and they didn't get that medal. So they're very sad about that. They're very sad that they didn't get their fucking medal. So they turn their attention to other things, because they're like, hang on, why hasn't this money brought me happiness? Oh, maybe abusing children will bring me happiness. Hence Epstein and his extensive links around the world. Maybe murdering people and dissolving them in an acid bath will make me happy. Maybe that'll make me happy. Maybe finally I'll be happy after that. So they don't know. They don't know, and they keep on pushing the envelope. They keep on pushing the boundary to see where they can get to and what they can get away with, because they get off on getting away with it. We go back to Winona Ryder robbing stuff from a fucking, a millionaire Hollywood actress robbing stuff from a fucking 7-Eleven because she got off on it. She got tingles downstairs from the whole process of robbing stuff. It made her heart race. It made her feel alive. And you got these dead-eyed fucking billionaires desperate for something to make them feel alive and killing people. Oh yeah, get off on that. That makes you feel alive. For these fucking weirdo fucking crypto fascist fucking nut jobs, sociopaths, psychopaths to a man. A hotter, more chaotic, harsher world for all of us justifies killing, justifies shooting people who are trying to, stay alive. It justifies weakening regulation. And in fact, the more chaotic the world gets, the more arguments are made for reducing regulation, because we need to do stuff. We need to fix this problem quickly, and we don't have time for you pen pushers down in City Hall deciding whether they should cross all the I's and dot all the T's. And also, it frightens the electorate, and they will go protect me. They always do. They always do. You know, they say flight or fight. Flight or fight. Flight or fight. That's the thing, the psychology thing. People actually, they either go into flight mode or they go into fight mode. And the reality is, and here is the reality for those paying attention, that's not true. There is a third. There is a third thing that people do in a panic situation, and it's freeze. It's freeze. It's freeze. It's not move. It's not go anywhere. It's just your body's overwhelmed, your brain's overwhelmed, and your body shuts down. Freeze. And do you know what? For the vast majority of people that are in a crisis situation, actually, fight or flight does not come into their brain. They just fucking freeze. You see this in plane crashes where most people survive the actual hitting the ground. They just don't get out the seats fast enough to get out the fucking plane before it is engulfed in fire. That's, sad but true. That's why we need people who work on planes to tell everyone to get the fuck off the plane. They need to scream, get off the fucking plane, and make it very obvious to people that that's what they need to do in that instance. People panic. People start pressing the button on their seatbelt because they can't suss out how to open it because they're panicking. They're too panicking. And on a bigger level, this is what these politicians are relying on. They're relying on people being overwhelmed by all the fucking doom and gloom that they are creating, and we just give up and we stop talking about it and we bury our heads in the sand and go, I can't take this anymore. And whereas I will always defend people's mental health and the right of them to take a break from all this fucking misery each day, and I completely understand why people do that, and that is fine. But you got to understand that the politicians are doing this on purpose. The oil companies, the arms manufacturers, the tobacco barons, the merchants of death, they are doing this on purpose to fuck us. Because they know that most people will just go, I can't be dealing with this. It's too fucking depressing. I'm gonna walk off. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? And individually, okay, cool. Go sort yourself out for a few weeks or a few months or a few years, however long it takes, and then come back to us, right? But on a mass scale, millions of people doing that, that's fucking dangerous. And that just hands so much power to the fucking fascist scum who are actively trying to destroy everything we know and love, and destroy the future, destroy the fucking future of the planet. They are gambling on the future of our planet for money and power. The gamble that they are making is that the collapse will be uneven, that some regions will drown, some will burn, others will, gain new shipping routes or fucking farmland. They may believe that an advantage can be carved out from asymmetry. You've seen this when, the fucking gobshites here in Durham who have taken over the council, the fuckers. One of them stood up and he said, in the first council meeting, he said, the Romans used to grow wine up here, and now we can't. But if we accelerate climate change, then we can grow wine here. I'm like, no, you can't. Where are you gonna fucking grow wine fields in the northern fucking Pennines? The soil's shite, mate. It's fucking shite. It can just about sustain grass. Never mind anything a bit more fucking complex. And this is it, the risk in the gamble is that the systems fail together, and the food, finance, insurance, trade, public order, they all interlock. And if you destabilize, enough pieces of the planet, enough wealth, enough of the infrastructure, enough of the lives of people, then the very wealth these people hoard becomes insecure, And a fire raging in your city may not respect your gated community. And there's a good chance that these fucking oil oligarchs and gobshites will go down with the ship. I mean, it's what they deserve, but why the rest of us have to go down their fucking fantasies? Why is it not enough? These people are already fucking billionaires. Why is it not enough for them to be fucking billionaires? Why do they have to destroy the planet as well? Why do they have to ruin our lives as well? Why? And you know what? I'm not claiming to be able to read the minds of these motherfuckers, right? This Trump and his fucking the E-list celebrities that he hangs out with, standing for Epstein. I'm asking you to judge them by their actions, okay? Like, look at everything they do. Look at everything they're building or trying to build, everything they're moving towards. And it is planetary fucking collapse. And that excites them because it'll be a brand new adventure. Because you know what doesn't excite them? The money they've got, the women in their lives or the men in their lives. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a fuck about love, community, society, building things that will last for generations. They just want to create destruction that lasts for generations. Imagine that. Imagine being so fucking disgusting and petty and cruel-minded. Such a deformed brain of a human being, like what Trump has got. And these motherfuckers, they cannot create. They can only destroy. They can only take something that works and make it not work. Or siphon all the profit out of it until it has to be bought back by the government that sold it to them in the first place. These motherfuckers are causing us, me and you, everyone that we know, fucking grief. And there's going to be a breaking point. There is going to be a point where we're like, I'm not going to take this anymore. We're going to go like, your man from Network, open the window and say, I'm mad as hell and I ain't going to take it anymore. Because at the moment, all that's happening is that the policies trotted out by the likes of Refuck. This is happening here. This is not some esoteric thing that's happening in other countries, some faraway land. This is happening here. What the Refuck fuckers want to do, they want to empower fossil fuel capital. They want to raise emissions. They want to amplify instability. They complain about immigrants. They complain about refugees, but they make refugees and immigrants inevitable by pushing an agenda which is going to destroy the homelands for billions of people. And most people don't move. Most people stay where they are, no matter what. It is a minority of people that move because of cases of war, famine, pestilence, death, disease. They move, but they are a minority. Once this all kicks off, it's not going to be a minority anymore because you can't live underwater. What are they going to fucking eat? James L. Jones has died. I thought he died a while ago. I love James L. Jones. What a guy. The voice of Vader. You're in effect enough. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. They call billionaires wealth creators, but they stand on the shoulders of giants every day because they only know how to destroy. Yeah. 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 But this is the grim reality of life right now, where we've got all this fucking evidence, direct policy choices that increase emissions. Donald Trump, revoking this endangerment finding. His administration has, publicly decried climate change as a hoax. Before he came into power, he was saying, drill, drill, drill. And then you've got the fossil fuel, there's continued expansion despite BP changing their name to Beyond Petroleum 40 fucking years ago. How's that going, BP? Have you gone beyond petroleum yet? No, we're going to go to hydrogen. It's just round the fucking corner. Just wait 5 minutes and the big hydrogen bus is going to be here. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And then you've got the fact that these Companies like ExxonMobil and Shell have got record or near record profits during these years of climate crisis when people should be turning away from their products, which is destroying the planet. You've got the shareholder profits being put first before the lives of human beings. You've got lobbying at the COP summit, which is just off the fucking charts. There's more people there lobbying than there are representatives of the countries that are fucking endangered by all this fucking climate change. And it's run by Saudi Arabia, who said in the mid-90s that we should have this agreement, but it has to be a consensus. All of the countries attending the COP summit have to agree, or nobody agrees. And so they never use the word fossil fuel if they can get away with it. They never come up with any actual long-term strategic plan. They never put anything in place that's anything more than a wish list, more than a sort of, like, oh, could you do this? Could you possibly? With no legal backing whatsoever. And it allows people like Trump to pull out the Paris climate change agreements. Doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna affect him, And this delay is it has financial value. And then you've got the investment logic of sunk assets, pipelines, refineries, LNG terminals. They're built to operate for decades. They don't want to pack up in 2030. Rapid decarbonization would strand those assets, and so the owners have an incentive to extend their usable life. And then you've got, like I said, the growth of electricity demand, not by us, but by people living in normal homes, doing normal household things, traveling to work on the train, or even not traveling to work at all, just staying at home and fucking working from home. For heaven forfend. Why do you think Nigel Farage wants to do away with that as well? He should work from an office. He doesn't fucking work from an office. He's got an office in Clacton. He never fucking goes there. Hypocritical gobshite. And then you've got the disaster economics. It's real, It's absolutely real. We can, like I said, reconstruction contracts, infrastructure spending, insurance repricing, land and asset turnover. And there's rising demand for private fire protection, water security, climate resilient property, disaster consulting. There's money in them their disasters. There's money in their crises that we're creating ourselves. And, research frequently shows that populations under stress tend to form a right-wing tend to favor right-wing politics. Like they tend to favor more and secure borders. They prioritize order over democracy, over human rights. They want the safety. They want the safety to know that we're being protected from the swarms of people coming, moving around the planet because their home has been destroyed. And then, the corporate risk of climate change has been known for fucking years. It's been known for fucking years. Since the 1970s, the oil companies found out about what's going on with climate change in the 1970s, and they kept it under wraps. And yet they used their findings to invest in places in the Arctic that they knew that would melt. Yeah. And it wasn't until about 10 years later that NASA picked up on it and went, shit, the world's warming up, and it's us that's doing it. And for a while, it looked like there might be some kind of consensus on that because it wasn't that wild and out there an idea. Take the carbon out the ground, burn the carbon goes into the sky. Ground, burn, sky, easy. Just 3-step process. It's not very complex, right? I know the chemical process is complex, but the trying to explain it to people is pretty straightforward. And yet they continued to produce oil. They continued to dig for coal. They continue to, destroy the planet as fast as they can possibly do. And this is them panicking now and saying, oh, first of all, we need a leader like Trump in America. So let's pay all this money to get him in to power. And don't forget these fossil fuel twats and gobshites and Elon Musk and the Saudis. They gave billions. They gave billions of dollars to get Trump put back into power. The number of people they had to pay off, the number of judges they had to bribe, the number of officials they had to make sure kept on delaying any kind of court case for Trump. It's all been fucking backhanders, hasn't it? And then you've got, the fact that, we don't need secret intentions, That we don't need a new world order, the Illuminati fucking meeting up in secret on ways to destroy the fucking planet. They're doing it openly. They're doing it openly. But I want to end this piece on a little bit of good news, right? Because there's something that is going to destroy these climate fucking twats, these climate catastrophe twats who are destroying the planet, right? And it's going to come from a very, very unlikely source. Do you know what that source is? Capitalism. Because here's the thing. People will take convenience over all other considerations. This is why people still use Amazon. Despite everything that Amazon does, people will take convenience over everything else, right? They prioritize convenience. And the problem with oil, with gas, with coal, it's fucking inconvenient. It's really fucking inconvenient. It's rather inconvenient for us in the UK to be completely reliant on fuel exports from Qatar to keep our lights on and to keep our houses warm. It's very, very inconvenient for people around the world to have to, dig this shit out of the ground, drill it out the ground, pump it out the ground. It's inconvenient to have to get in your car and drive to a petrol station when you could have on-street charging for your car, or every single car park in the UK could have solar panels and car charging. Simple as that. There's a solar panel on, you park under the solar panel, and while you're shopping, your car charges up a little bit. Fucking great. Put it in. That's fucking convenient. More convenient than having to queue to get some fucking petrol in the local petrol station. More convenient than having a commodity to put in your car that spikes in price by 50% or even more when some daft fucking foreign military tin pot dictator decides to go and invade his neighbor. Oh, look, Russia's invaded Ukraine, something I had no control over whatsoever. What do you mean it's going to cost me an extra 15 quid a week to drive to work? That's inconvenient. And the Chinese are seeing this. The Indians are seeing this. In China, they are just remarkably, smashing climate records by building vast solar arrays and wind turbines across the land, but also in unlikely places like India. India, one of the most polluted countries in the world, a place where in Delhi, routinely, the air quality is so bad, it's off the fucking charts. It's like, that bit in Chernobyl where they realize that the Geiger counters they have don't go up to the level of radiation that's being pumped out. That they think it's like 20 millisievert, but actually it's something like 200,000. But their instruments don't go high enough. It's a bit like that in Delhi, right? But what we're seeing now is a quiet revolution in Delhi of the tuk-tuks, the rickshaws, the little motorbikes that race around, these little 50cc motorbikes that have a little cage on the back that you sit in, carriage on the back. They're converting to electric. They're converting to electric at a rapid rate of knots. Why? It's cheaper. It's fucking cheaper. It's cheaper to have essentially an e-bike than to try and run a little motorbike. A little freewheeler, I guess. And then in Pakistan, again, same thing. People are getting solar panels fucking everywhere. People are just buying solar panels and they're disconnecting from the grid because the grid is fucking shite. They can't rely on the grid for energy, so why? Why bother? Get yourself a solar panel and a battery, a car battery. You have a little solar controller. It's like $20 and plug in. Happy days. It's more convenient. It's more convenient. And so I honestly believe that what we're seeing right now with Trump and these oil companies and Elon Musk and the fucking Saudis and the fucking Qataris and the fucking Emiratis, doing things and interfering in our politics, the Russians, the fucking, and when I say these countries, I don't mean everyone in these countries. Obviously, I mean the governments of these countries, the people in charge of these countries, the oligarchs of these countries. interfering in our fucking politics, giving money to the likes of Nigel Farage to destroy our green and pleasant lands, because that's what he wants to do, because he's a rat. He's a rat of a man. He is absolute fucking scum. And if you want to get your stoner fucking neighbour who thinks, oh, well, Nigel Farage got a point, I think. You want to get them to go down a rabbit hole, say, find out what happened to that pilot of that plane. Find out what he did to him. Come back with a fucking written report about how wonderful you fucking Nigel Farage is, St. Nigel. He's a fucking rat of a man. He is an absolute. He's the type. You can see it in his eyes. He's the type that wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. Do you know what I mean? He's the type who you'll be banging on the door because there's some fucking zombie apocalypse and you can let me in. And they'll be just sitting there sipping tea like this. It'd be like this. Sipping his tea like a twat. That's what he is. That's the type of twat he is. He'd watch you get devoured by a pack of ravenous fucking wolves, and he'll go, and he's managed to convince so many people in the working class that he's one of them. He's not one of them. He's not. It's like the axe convincing the forest he's one of them, because his handle is made of wood. That's what Nigel Farage is. So yeah. Also, you know what? As well, talking about the good news, China and Pakistan and India naturally moving towards. This isn't something top down. This isn't something necessarily that's been put there by the government. I suppose it is in China a bit more, but especially in what we're seeing happening now in India, in Pakistan, that is bottom up. That is just people going, this is more convenient for me. This is a better way for me to make electricity than to run a generator. You're seeing this in Nigeria as well. Everyone's got a fucking generator because the supply of electricity is unreliable at best. So people are making their own electricity. It's more convenient, it's cheaper and more convenient. David Faulkner, thank you very much for the 15 Hong Kongian dollars, and also the beautiful message of fuck the fash, which has also triggered the Confetti. But yes, thank you. But yeah, this is the future. This is the future that the fash want, and I don't think they're going to get it. I don't think they're going to get it because people are just going to see the options, see an internal combustion engine, which is a fucking headache with 220,000 fucking moving parts, and each of which can wear out and go wrong, and they're going to move over to electric. I mean, the spike in electric car sales in the last year across Europe, it's just gone through the fucking roof. Because people, anyone who's got an electric car really does not want to go back to an internal combustion engine. I say that as someone who has driven one. My partner has an electric car. My friends who've got electric cars, none of them want to go back. It's just too many things to go wrong. With an electric car, you might have to replace the tires. But the engine's pretty fucking simple. The motor is pretty fucking simple, the electric motor. So yes, we are going to continue on with the show, and in a moment, I've just reset I've just reset the chat, which is cool. I'm having a meeting in an hour's time with Mike Dix, and he's going to be in charge of the show tonight on the Friday Night Social. I will not be in charge. I'll be at a gig. I might dial in from the gig because that'll be funny. I don't know how good my microphone's going to be, but we will see. Yeah, we're gonna go and have a look at the papers now, if that's okay with you. I mean, I could have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Oh my God, you've really hit the nail on the head. Oh, thank you, Alex French. Prioritize personal convenience. Long term, you shut people out, including yourself. True to an extent, yeah. I'm going to stub my toe and cheer myself up. Thanks for the company, all you precious. I tried to end it on a positive note. I don't think they're going to win. I really don't. I can see what they're trying to do. I don't think they're going to win. Because there is no way that they can make it cheaper for the consumer to dig toxic goo out the ground and then ship it across the world, refine it, then ship it to another place where that is when you can just take that same energy, the sunlight from the sky, the wind from the air. Like, no, it's just, plug your phone in to your fucking wind turbine. Oh, look, phone is charging. Everybody happy. Plug your car into the wind turbine. Okay, cool. Reliable energy. Graham at a gig, mosh, mosh, mot. Yes, that is very true, Diz. I managed to sustain the entire, stay in the mosh for the entirety of the Nirvana gig the other week, which was brilliant. 3 gigs in a row. It's brilliant, this, because just because of my financial situation, the way that gigs have gone in recent years, I've been going to a lot less of them than I used to. Like, I used to go to a gig a week. I used to go to a couple of gigs a week back in my heyday. But it's been really good. So 3 weeks ago, I had the Nirvana tribute, and then a week ago, I was in York for this is my Christmas present off my beautiful partner, Catherine, who took me to see Suede, one of my favourite bands of all time. And then, tonight we're going to go and see Ash. We're going to go and see Ash in Liverpool at the Grand Central. So it's going to be really fun. I'm taking a bunch of mates with me. Because I'm a cheeky motherfucker like that. Graham, do you use biodegradable confetti? Of course. What do you take me for, Sarah? Some kind of monster? If oil was so good, Grangemouth wouldn't have existed for over a decade on public subsidies. Well, that's it as well. The subsidies for the oil companies are massive. The oil companies can't make profit on their own. So they get subsidised, don't they, by us, by the taxpayer? I don't want to subsidise them. I want to subsidise people who are struggling. I want to subsidise people who are, need some help. I want to help people. I found your business card in my wallet this morning. My business card. Oh, cool. It's my business card here. Little me. Look at that. Just hang on. What's happening here? There you go. Little business card. Oh my God. Focus. Look at this. Trying to focus. There's little me sitting down. That's what photo shoot you did. It's really cool. I'm going to just cover the thing. There you go. Look. Graham Hughes, Lights, Camera, Adventure. How cool is that? Little stamps. Although the Twitter one's a bit out of date now. Might need to redo that one. I'm not on Twitter anymore. But yeah, there you go. That's the business card. If you'd like a business card of mine, just meet me in real life at some point and I'll give you one. I'll also give you a business card. Okay, all right, just me. All right, I got my EV last year after showing a friend. He and his son are now planning to get one themselves, one each. So that's 2 converts I made. Yes, well, sorry, I got distracted. I was going to say everyone I know who's got an electric car becomes quite evangelical about electric cars because they are just so fucking convenient, especially if you can charge them off your own house. And we need infrastructure put in place so people can charge on the road. And that isn't like out of the it is a team with a few angle grinders to dig a little trench, a little gully in the pavement, and then put a metal U in it, a U-shaped piece of metal in there that obviously channels water, so the water comes in, it'll go down into the gutter, but and that allows the person in the house, in the terraced house next to the street, to be able to run a line along that and then into their car, so people don't trip over the wire, the cable. That is something that we should definitely be investing in right now. And I mean, fuck's sake, you think about like expensive infrastructure and trying to set things up, and it's like, actually, the reality is it's going to be fucking dead simple to if you park outside your house, you should be able to charge your car up. The only other thing that's going to come from that is just parking permits. Now, this is the thing that's like already a thing in London and other places where you have to have a parking permit to park outside your own house. It'll just extend it. And basically each parking space along the street will be numbered corresponding with the house that it's outside. Simple as that. So yeah. And Yuri's saying, still fighting with the local council home charging for our disability car electric. I think it's disgraceful that you're having to fight. This stuff should be offered up on a fucking platter. Like I say, our governments, they subsidise fucking oil companies. They have to for years. We don't get any money from that. We get fuck all the money that the oil that we we dig out the North Sea. You don't get fuck all from that. We don't have a sovereign wealth fund in the same way that Norway does. And when we buy that oil, we don't get it at a discount. We don't get 25% off because it's our fucking oil. We have to pay the going rate on the international markets. So that's spiked because of something that's happened on the other side of the fucking planet and that we've got no control over. It's not even like our oil, it's someone else's fucking oil, but that changes the price of it. Or OPEC's having a moment. You know, the fucking Saudi Arabia decides, oh, should we put the price up? Should we put the supply down, the price up? Yeah, all right, let's put the supply down and the price up. They can do that, the Saudis. We can't. It's going to take centuries of climate to adjust the gas levels in the atmosphere, says Andy. Yes, it will. My next car would be a small electric, little Fiat or something. Yeah. I live opposite a petrol station that has EV charge points. Yeah, Gallifrey, man. And here's another thing. People talk about range anxiety, right? We can get to Liverpool quite easily in our electric car. That's the longest trip that we usually make. But you know what? We've gone down to London in it, and we stopped along the way for a coffee, and we plugged the car in. And the car, we went in. I remember we went in. It was like a Starbucks or something. We plugged the car in, and then we walked into the Starbucks. We ordered our coffee. Right? Ordered it, right? Waited for it. They made the coffee. We picked up the coffee, and Catherine's phone pinged, right? And she took it out. The car's charged. We hadn't even sat down with our fucking coffee. Car's charged. Okay. Should we drink the coffee or should we get in the car and go? And it's like, oh, we'll sit down. I honestly, like, I can't stress enough that the things that they tell you that are bad about electric cars are just blown out the water by how bad internal combustion engine cars are. And like, there's a great line by Rory Sutherland, the marketing guy, where he talks about, like, imagine all the cars were electric and you had invented the internal combustion engine and you were trying to sell it to people. And he goes through all the stages that you have to go through to deal with this fucking monster in this engine that's so fucking dangerous. And you have this volatile, explosive liquid that you have to put in the car to make it go. And you're like, it's a bit dangerous. Does it run out of fuel? Yes, it runs out of fuel. Oh, okay. Could I charge it at me home? No, you can't charge it at your home. You got to go in somewhere. You got to go to a special place and fill it up with petrol. Does the price always remain the same? No, it doesn't. Basically, it goes up and down on a daily basis. You just won't know. It's a bit of a lottery. And if you get it charged, Anyway, you're infected of. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. I've edited in Scotland to Stone Stevenage and back. In our EV, says Yuri. Yeah, I mean, you can go on a big trip in an EV. One of the things they say, they haven't taken off in America because they've got such big distances to travel. Oh, fuck off, America. Do you live in your own fucking dream world? Do you know how often Americans go on a road trip in reality? All of never, because Americans have to work every day of the year, every day of their lives, because they're all fucking descendants of fucking Puritans who run the show. And they believe in the Puritan fucking work ethic, which is like, you work on Christmas Day, you work on Boxing Day. Oh, we don't even have a Boxing Day. No bank holidays, no maternity leave, no paternity leave. You're sick, you have a baby, come back the next fucking day. I don't give a fuck. They get no fucking holidays. They get fuck all in America. The idea they're all jumping in their cars to drive across America, fuck off. Get their kicks on Route 66, on the road by Jack Kerouac. It doesn't fucking happen. They're all fucking stuck in their fucking cities going to fucking work, which is a mile away. And they need their car to get to work. They need their car to get to the supermarket to buy their stuff because of the way their cities are constructed. But the reality is they spend 99% of the time in their car in a fucking traffic jam, not going anywhere. Don't give me this shit about range anxiety. Oh, it only goes 200 miles. I can't go far enough. I need to be able to drive all the way to Florida. Like fucking Rizzo in fucking the Midnight Cowboy. I'm like, no, get the fucking bus. Get the bus. Get the Vatso. Get the bus like Vatso in fucking Midnight Cowboy and try not to die this time. Oh, spoilers. At Mr. Tisk, 27. Thank you very much. UK ban on Palestine action just declared illegal. Oh, the plot thickens. That is really, really interesting. Wowzers, trousers. I'm trying to look this up now. Steven Spielberg. 4 astronauts about to blast off in the International Space Station. Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask? Is anyone else a bit concerned about this like mission to the moon? Is it the Artemis mission to the moon? Is anyone else a bit concerned about it? Because I keep seeing these rockets blowing up. I know they're SpaceX, but just they're gonna put humans in one of these fucking big fuck off rockets, and I'm like, is it safe? Is it? I mean, this is what they're doing. It's incredibly, incredibly dangerous. They're gonna go around the moon and then come back. It's gonna be the furthest that any humans ever been from planet Earth. And they're gonna come back. They're gonna be 7,000 miles above the surface of the moon. That's really fucking close. That is fucking crazy. That is crazy. 7,000 miles. Nothing, is it? That's like going from America to Asia, I guess. Wow. Anyway, 15-minute cities are woke, remember? Yeah. 450-mile range on a BYD. Yeah, its range anxiety is absolute fucking bullshit. And the idea that, oh no, we want to be able to drive it to the other side of the fucking planet. I'm like, no, you don't. Most people just drive to fucking work and back, drive to the supermarket. That's it. That's their driving. Drive to the fucking drive-through fucking KFC and back. That's it. It's like a few miles. Fuck it. Who cares? I think I'd rather be on a possibly exploding rocket to the moon than in the US. Well, it's taking off from the US, isn't it? So I'm really worried about. I'm genuinely concerned about it because I feel like NASA's had a lot of cost cutting under the Trump administration, and I don't know. I just don't feel like in the past it always seemed like they'd done all these safety checks and gone overboard on it. But then you look at what happened with Challenger, you look what happened with the Columbia disaster, and you kind of like, oh, okay. These people in charge are all about cutting corners and not like doing all the proper rules and regulations. You know, regulations are for losers. You know, we don't want big government telling us what to do. Sort of making fun of like elf and safety. We managed it in the 60s, unless it was faked, of course. Acro Dave. Just don't. I get homesick, so not for me. Never been on a plane. Don't ever want to fly. Flying is quite pleasant, actually. I think the actual act of flying, being in a plane is quite pleasant. Getting on the plane is a fucking nightmare. Getting off the plane is a fucking nightmare. And one of the most... I'm having a bit of a freak out at the moment because my passport is, which I had to send over to my lawyer in Panama, is winging its way back to me, or supposed to be, and it's been stuck in Stansted Airport for 3 fucking days. I keep getting updates saying nothing has changed. It's still in clearance. It's an envelope with my passport in, being sent to my address, which is also in my passport in the emergency contacts bit, in my name. And it's being held up, and I'm really, really, really fucking shitting one because, first of all, I'm supposed to be traveling in a couple of weeks, but also, it's got my American visa in it. I'm not going to get another one of them. If I get a new passport, I've got to get a new visa. I'm not getting one of them. And it's not that I want to go to America, but I want the option of changing flights in America. But yeah. So I might not be flying anywhere anytime soon either. So yeah, you might be the only one. Well, I did travel a while without flying. That was quite fun. Because I hate looking the process of getting on a flight. Oh, airports. Anyway, so we'll go to the papers. Here they are. We've got the Times here. Pupils able to change their gender at school. Pronoun guidance for children as young as 4. Really? We're going there. Is this what we're doing now? Is it? We're doing this bullshit. This bullshit about being able to change sex change surgery in school. Is that what you're saying is happening? I mean, it's not. It's not. It's just, this is something that, Jesus Christ. Trump's war on the arts, because obviously the rich hate the arts, you know, because the fash hate the arts, don't they? Because they can't control it, and it makes people think, and it gives people empathy. And then we've got Wuthering Heights. How true to the book is the film? Not true at all. That's why it's in inverted commas. Football chiefs step in after Ratcliffe kicks off over migration. So that's the story from yesterday. And there's a picture of the woman there from the family, the family woman, the cat princess Catherine, Kate, something. She's there, being all Katified. So that's good. That's good. PM agreed to £260,000 payout for sacked civil servants. Government officials refused to sign off on Keir Starmer's decision to sack his most senior civil servants because the £260,000 cost to the taxpayer couldn't be justified. The redundancy payment to Sir Chris Wormold. What's his name? Wormold. What a lovely name. So Mr. Wormold here in the chat's going to shout at me now. So what else have we got in the papers? We've got Jesse Nelson here. I'm proud to join the mirror fight for baby testing. And then we've got horror stabbing unmasked. Judge rules teenage thug who murdered Leo 12 in unprovoked attack must be named. Really grim. Totally inside and out there. Star here, Ban United. Radcliffe sorry, but FA could bar him from the ground. I hope they do. Fucking scumbag. A blood chilling warning about AI from an expert who quits his job to urge humanity to wake up. Yeah, I don't think that AI is going to save humanity. If anything, it's just going to make matters worse. Even if the most catastrophic predictions of some of these people working in the AI industry don't come to fruition, the amount of carbon that this fucking technology is burning is disgusting and disgraceful, and it needs to be stopped. Labour opens door to trans children in primary schools. Labour last night opened the door to primary school children changing their gender. Long-awaited trans guidance for schools finally arrived yesterday, having been watered down from previous Tory proposals. Watered down. Is that watered down so it's easier to declare yourself trans and be accepted as trans by the school, by your classmates? Is that what you mean by watered down? I don't know. Britain's top NATO envoy, 55, and an imbroglio with an Italian intern nearly half his age. There's a woman in a bikini there on the beach because, you need that. And then we're going to go over to the Telegraph here, and I'll bring this up full screen because obviously there's a lot of words. There's lots of words. Come on, you fucker. And obviously I don't want to show you the CFT trading or whatever just came up as an advert. So Trevor Nunn, Imogen Stubbs broke my heart. I don't know who Trevor Nunn is. I don't know who Imogen Stubbs is. So, I'm sorry. And what your quarter zip says about you. Ooh, okay. Am I wearing? No, I'm not wearing a quarter zip today. But I'd love to know what it says about me. It says I'm a granddad. Rayner turns on Starmer over pubs. He joins forces with Burnham as left flexes his muscles in fresh challenge 2 p.m. And then we've got children will be allowed to change gender at school. Same fucking story. Laura Trott, the shadow education secretary, warned that children as young as 4 will be able to change their gender at school. The document tells schools primary schools should exercise particular caution, and we would expect support for full social transition to be agreed very rarely. So actually, no, that's not what it says. But you can tell us what it says if you're like, oh, she's wearing Superman socks. Look, Claire Rayner's got Superman socks on. Oh, fuck off with fucking documents. Oh my God, you've gone to an advert. Piss off and die. Oh my God, go away with your fucking adverts. Jesus. Trump hits judicial jackpot as $10 billion BBC legal fight goes to trial. Donald Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the BBC will go ahead next year. The libel case will go to trial in February. A Florida judge ruled, depending on the outcome of further attempts by the British broadcaster to dismiss the case. Wow. Just what the fuck is going on? Fascist dictator in some other country suing our fucking public broadcaster because they want to destroy it. The fash want to get rid of the BBC because they can't control it. And although the BBC is far from perfect, and I will not argue that it is perfect in any way, shape, or form, this is this is what they do. This is what they do. They try and destroy anything they can't control. They can't buy the BBC. Like they're trying to buy Paramount, or they bought Paramount. They're trying to buy Warner Brothers. You know, they bought 20th Century Fox. They bought CNN. They bought ABC. You know, all this stuff. They can't buy the BBC, and that pisses them off. They want everything for sale. Scrap North Sea oil ban. Blair tells Labour. Fuck off, Tony Blair. Actor too white to play Heathcliff. The BBC presenter Anita Rani has claimed that Jacob Elordi is too white to play Heathcliff. Yes, because Heathcliff in the books is not white. He's not white. And he's a Scouser. So how about we not have an Australian playing him? How about we have an actual fucking person from Liverpool playing the actual fucking Scouser? Stephen Graham. Stephen Graham should play Heathcliff. In fact, both the leads in Wuthering Heights, Jacob Elordi and the lady from the Wolf of Wall Street, what's her name? Barbie, Margot Robbie. Both Australian. Not even fucking, she should be from Yorkshire and he should be from fucking Liverpool. If you're going to do it properly, never mind. There's a story there about the shooting that happened in Canada, and obviously the right-wing press are making meat out of that because they're fucking scum. And then regulations to examine Telegraph takeover, the proposed takeover by the Telegraph by Lord Rothermere, the Daily Mail owner. Oh, Jesus Christ. A 4-month initial investigation by regulators. Because, all the newspapers that he fucking owns ain't enough. He wants to control the minds of everyone from his chateau in France. Anyway, over to the Daily Express, the Daily Depress, more like. Now Rayner hits out at Reeves over pub tracks. United chief is sorry, but wants UK streets are awash with illegal drugs. Yes, because Tories keep buying it because rich people like their drugs, don't they? And there's the woman from the house down the road, and she held some flowers. So, that's got to be front page news, hasn't it? I've printed up 500,000 pictures of this woman. I want to distribute them on this flyer that I've got. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. I'm just a bit fucking weird, aren't I? So next up, we've got the newspaper, which is saying, on the left here, which is saying, call as number 10. Number 10, as Starmer tries to relaunch his leadership. PM Stacks, head of civil service with immediate effect, their third departure in tumultuous week for Downing Street. Good, get rid of these fucking knobheads who are giving bad advice. Education, single-sex spaces protected in tougher new gender guidance for schools. So whereas every other newspaper has reported that actually now 4-year-olds are going to be able to change their gender magically by the force of will or something, apparently now single-sex spaces are going to be protected by law or something. I don't know. Guidance. It's not law. It's fucking guidance. Don't forget, private schools don't have to follow any of this guidance. They don't have to follow the national curriculum. They don't have to follow anything. They don't have to have fucking qualified fucking teachers. Families fight to save their homes from falling into the sea. Good luck with that. And then I nearly got squashed in a whale threesome, says Michaela Strachan. Okay, that's probably one of the most maddest fucking headlines of the year, but there you go. And then we've got the FT here. Is America moving in for the kill on Cuba? They ask at the top. And we've also got why Starmer's troubles baffle European allies. Yeah, true. We've got Northern Chill. We've got China aims for Arctic routes. Fucking absolute fucking madness. We'll go across. We'll shave a few minutes off the time to travel around the world. What are you taking? Fossil fuels. City champion Schroders agrees to £9.9 billion takeover by US rival Nuveen. So now we've got another fucking US company owning a British company. Einstein Trust Papers. Epstein. Sorry, Einstein. Don't mean to fucking shit on your parade there. Epstein Trust Papers clash with former Barclays chief Staley's court testimony. Jess Staley was named as a trustee of Jeffrey Epstein's estate until 2015. That's interesting. Sugar. Oh, fuck off adverts. Damn it. Jesus, bloody adverts. What's with the fucking adverts? Fuck off. I don't want adverts. Sugar price drops as use of weight loss jabs rises. Sugar prices have tumbled to their lowest level in more than 5 years as weight loss drugs accelerate to a drop in demand. Do you know what? There was a story about airlines saving loads of money because people aren't as big anymore. So the weight of the people that they're carrying is less, and the less weight that you have, the less fuel you use. Starmer urged to take his time on hiding cabinet chief. So, yes, please take your time. Get someone who's good. Antitrust enforcer ousted. The White House has pushed out the Justice Department's antitrust enforcer, Gail Slater, after she clashed with people close to Attorney General Pam Bondi amid intense political tensions. The antitrust is monopolies and mergers, effectively. That's the monopolies people in America. So, they want monopolies because there's like 5 people around Trump and they all want to be even richer than they already are. Growth misses forecast. The economy grew 0.1% in the final quarter of 2025, undershooting expectations and capping a year of lackluster growth. Because we're not part of the EU needs rules big bang. A decisive moment is needed in which capitals set aside national interest and finally tackle the regulatory inertia that has left the EU trading globally, the European Council's head has said. This was a speech made yesterday, and I completely agree 100%. And please can we rejoin? Microsoft self-help in AI, tariffs hurt US shoppers, Brussels officers raided, but Belgian police have searched the European Commission in a probe examining potential irregularities in the sale of EU properties that took place while Johannes Hahn was budget commissioner. Oh, all a bit dodgy. And then we've got Ankara sees hope on Iran. Turkey's top diplomat has said both the US and Iran appear ready to compromise to secure a nuclear deal, but warned that broadening talks to Tehran's ballistic missiles would risk another war. It's quite interesting, isn't it, that Trump got rid of not the act, the bill, whatever it was, the agreement, the treaty that Obama had drawn up with Iran. He got rid of it, and then he was like, "Oh, we need this again." So I wouldn't, it'd be funny if Iran just got the piece of paper, wouldn't it, and then just sort of crossed it out, and then just wrote Donald Trump's name on it, the Donald Trump plan, the Donald Trump nuclear non-proliferation plan, or whatever they want to call it. They just write that in. And he's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." We've got The Guardian over here, and we've got Maverick Movies Remembered. There we've got the ranked the best tunes inspired by literary greats. We've also with obviously Wuthering Heights being the #1 song that everyone thinks of when they think of a song based on a book. PM outs top civil servant in shake-up of number 10 team, which is a good idea. A terrible mistake. Ukrainian in helmet row barred from Olympic race because you have pictures of people of Ukrainian athletes who murdered by the Russians in his picture there on his helmet. The pictures of them on his helmet, and he's been disqualified from the Olympics. Fucking disgraceful. Gift to polluters as US removes climate ruling. Yep, absolute gift to polluters, as I've been saying today. Ratcliffe hypocritical over migration remarks, as he is a migrant himself. Big Jim's own goal here on the metro above me. Boss kicks off on colonization, but gets population figure wrong like a twat. Sikh and Muslim fans protest, and PM brands claims offensive, which they absolutely are. And then finally, now Starmer loses his cabinet secretary. His top civil servant confirms he is leaving number 10 on the Independent over here. And don't get too shocked because I've just made it go into the middle. So there he is. You know what though? I think I like to feel like our Ukrainian athlete who got this image on his helmet. He got his point across, didn't he? I think, despite the fact that the IOC said it was against the spirit of the games. Fuck off. Well, do you know what was against the spirit of the games? Letting fucking Russia have the Winter Olympics in 2018. That was against the spirit of the games. Go fuck yourselves. Ratcliffe's own goal over apology for UK migrant slur. Billionaire Manchester United owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe remains embroiled in racism row as he expresses regret that his choice of language offended some people. What a fucking mealy-mouthed excuse. What a mealy-mouthed fucking excuse of a man. I'm sorry if you're offended. I'm sorry if you're offended. Oh, anyway, so listen, thanks so much for watching this morning. I'm going to bugger off unless we get 3 super chats in the next minute, and then I can fire off the confetti cannon again. That would be cool if you want to fire off the party poppers. But otherwise, we are going to head. I'm going to head off. I've got some housework to do. I'm putting down some flooring in the basement. God, it was a fucking nightmare. Under the stairs, I was trying to put flooring under the stairs, and the bits wouldn't fit in each other, and the walls aren't straight. And I'm trying to cut this thing with a Stanley knife under the fucking stairs, and it was like midnight, and I was just like, oh, like sweat coming down over my eyes. And then I fucking stood up and twatted my head on the bottom of the fucking stairs. Oh my God, bit of a nightmare. I tried to come to bed, but I was covered in dust. I was covered in like crap off the fucking from under the stairs. And so yeah, Kat's like, go wash your face. I'm like, oh, okay. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked like a fucking Victorian street urchin. But yeah, I've got a little bit more to do. And then I'm having a meeting with Mike so we can set up for tonight's show. Please join Mike tonight at 9:30 for the Friday night social. Hopefully we'll get a few people dialing in as well. I might, like I say, I might pop in myself from the Ash gig. So big kudos for Mike for taking that on board, for taking that on. Thanks, Mike. And yeah, I also will be doing the agenda at 1:00 today with our friend Phil Morehouse of A Different Bias fame. And we're probably going to be talking about the shake-up in number 10 and the civil servants who had gone. Obviously, the last one that we did, Morgan McSweeney hadn't left. So we'll be talking about the people leaving number 10 and what this means for Labour going forward. And does it mean that Starmer can cling on like a Klingon from the Klingon planet of Klingon? Liz Allen, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. It's very kind of you. Yeah, Ratcliffe sacked British people and then spent 240 million on foreign footballers. Yeah, Ratcliffe also pushed for Brexit because he knew he'll make money out of it. The money men made loads of money out of it. Liz, that's a $2 super chat. Should I hang on to see if anyone else wants to put a £1 super chat in just to get us over the line? Because you know, Diz wants her confetti, don't you, Diz? Don't you, Diz? Go on, push the confetti. Be careful with the Stanley. Graham wouldn't want to end up in A&E. It's not a Stanley. I don't have a Stanley Cup. Autism versus ADHD again. Yes. You knows it. It is a bit, isn't it? It is a bit. But I like it. It feels like a philosophical conversation, not just a political conversation, but a philosophical conversation, like you might have in some science fiction show. Liz Allen, another $2. That means we just need one more. Please release me. Let me go. I'll be able to go after the last super chat. So we get one more. I don't get Klingons anymore. Took a razor to it. Oof. Ouch. And Radcliffe won't spend a penny fixing up Old Trafford, the skinflint. Yeah, but he's relying on money from the British taxpayer to build his new stadium. A cheeky gobshite. What a cheeky gobshite that man is. He's a gobshite, he is. Are you feeding Diz's confetti addiction? Yes. Yes, I am. And Degalafame says, I'm off to further my trans agenda of delicious homemade food. Yeah, that uncovered the real trans agenda. Delicious food. Oh, yay, Sarah. £1 super chat. And Liz has put another $2 in, which means we can now release the confetti. Okay, I'm going to go. People giving me money to get rid of me, which is nice. Thank you. Shut up, Graham. I'll see you at 1:00. Me and Phil for the agenda. Please join us. It should be. I don't think it's going to be as spicy as it was last week, I have to say, because I think we agree on the fact that the people advising Starmer were not great, not the best. They weren't sending their best. So there you go. Thanks very much to the confetti. Thank you very much for the super chats. Thanks for watching. Give the like a lick on the way out. Give it a nice little licking on your phone. Just lick your phone and give us a like. And yeah, it's all good. Until I see you again, I'd just like to say thanks very much for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.